Hello everyone, we're on area 2 for the second dark vision event on global. So for this first fight, it's a stone boss that's weak to wind and physical. So I'm bringing Aloha Laswell for his wind imperil, and since the chain that ability also innately chains wind, I don't have to put any elemental weapons on him. And he also has innate triple cast, so he can chain triple AT frames with Regan. Carton is going to be chaining AR, and because he has a really good turn 1 damage with wind weapon and stone killer. Oh, except he's not really equipped with for stone killer. CG Jake is going to be using his cooldown to give Stone Killer buff to everyone using Mastermind Zon. Regan is going to chain with Laswell, with Stone Killer, and another not related Stone Killer materia, and also a wind weapon. Roberta is going to be chaining with Carton, so I just threw whatever gear I had on her previously with a wind weapon also. And Mastermind Zon is going to be mirroring the Stone Killer buff to everyone. And I forgot to mention that Roberta is also here for defense break. So the way I'm going to be doing this is very, not to say difficult, but it's like very peculiar because it's basically hoping on the chain if it lands. So first I'm gonna prepare the abilities. So Cardin is going to use his AR frames. Roberta is going to use her Spiral Thrust, which is a chaining ability for DR frames, but it reduces defense and spirit. And you'll see how how I successfully chain with Carton and Odin and Laswell. With AR, Jake is going to use his Wild Style. Mastermind Zon is going to triple cast the critical mirror on Jake and Odin and project it to everyone. Laswell is going to triple cast his Wind Imperil chain and also his cooldown. And Regan will triple cast chain his usual Octo Strike blade. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to tap Roberta, count 2 seconds, chain Cardin, and then chain the Laswell and Regan. So 1, 2, chain. And this will reach at least 100 chain. See, there you go. The key is proper timing. I could do this the easy way using Malphacy because she has a defense break that doesn't attack, but I just want to use Roberta in everywhere I can. So full point for the first one and off to the second one. Now for the second fight, it's almost the same as the first area on the first fight, which is it's the human boss that's weak to thunder and physical, except there's like 2 of them now. So I'm bringing Carton and Roberta to AoE chain. So Aloha Laswell, I'm lazy to change gear, so even though he has a disadvantage element for being wind, innately wind, I'm just gonna chain with Regan. So I change his gear to thunder weapon so that I don't have to use an imbuer. Summer Finale is going to be breaking. Carton is going to be chaining AR as usual for the points and because he has really good turn 1 damage. War Hero Regan, I've swapped his gear for Man-Eater. Radiant Lightning to Imperil. And Roberta to chain with Carton. So Lightning is going to use her LB for the Imperil. Summerfina and Lit's going to use their Ultimate Siesta for the breaks. Aloha, Laswell, and Regan is going to triple cast their AT frames. I'm just gonna use water this time. Regan will triple cast his AT frames. Carton's going to start using his AR frames, with Roberta single casting it to her cooldown. So normally bosses with like 2 or 3 units is basically like freebie. Because there are more units, you can deal more damage, and especially if you have someone who has AoE attacks like Carton. So full points again. I don't know why this rank up. I mean, I really want like to see what ranks I am. Well, so let's go to the third fight now. Hey everyone, so this is supposed to be fight number 3. I've already cleared all 5 stages, but I've recently just gotten Regina 7 star. So now I'm refighting this specific stage because it's a spirit boss, and Regina will make my points much higher than the one I recorded originally. So for this third fight, I'm bringing Aloha Laswell for his triple casting chain with Odin Regan. He has 100% Earth Resist, everyone needs to because of the preemptive attack, and also some Spirit Killer. I think he has some Spirit Killer. Karin is going to be chaining the AR frames for the mission, and also because he has really good modifiers. We also with Earth Resist. Regina is going to be buffing everyone's attack and also buffing everyone's Fairy Killer. So give a whole lot of attack and Earth Resist. Warrior Regan is going to be triple casting 80 frames with Aloha Laswell. Malphasy is going to be AR chaining with Carton and also be defense breaking. And my Zon is going to be provoke tanking while also mirroring the buffs from Regina to the team. So I'm going to be 2-turning this fight, because my turn 1 damage was about 1.7 billion, and it's better if I lose 1000 from skipping a turn rather than losing about 2000-ish for full damage. So in the first turn, Aloha Laswell is just going to single cast chain, not chain, just single cast his wind frames. Carton will defend. Regina is going to cast her anti-fairy module. Malphasy is going to use her cooldown, which breaks defense. Mastermind Zon is going to mirror the imbue from Laswell. Just to himself for this turn. So elemental mirror on Laswell and critical mirror on Regina. And Regan is going to cast his cooldown. So that gives him triple cast on the next turn. So now Carton's going to use his AR frames. Malphasy is going to single cast her AR frames. Regina will prepare her Regina Cannon. So power generator, Kana system, power generator, Kana system, reboot command, anti-fairy module to her Regina Cannon. Aloha Laswell is going to triple cast chain, Wind of the Seas with showdown. And Regan is going to triple cast his Auto Strike Blade. Zon is now going to be providing the buffs to everyone. So Reflector, Critical Mirror on Regan for the attack buff. I think it's dual cast, I don't need to do anything else. Critical Mirror on Regan and Projected Mirror to everyone. So I'm gonna cast Regina, wait for like the third or fourth cast, chain Malfoy and Cardin, and then chain with Laswell and Regan. So that should make me reach maximum damage cap. Okay, so that's the third fight. My fourth and fifth is already pre-recorded, so you might not see a Regina in them. So I might deal a bit less damage, but yeah, I don't really want to record more, so I guess that's it. Okay, now we're at the fourth fight, which is an undead boss XP2 Thunder and Magic. So I'm quite unprepared for this because I don't really have good Thunder mages. So I'm bringing Swanwu with Phoenix for the undead killer, as well as the water resist on everyone. You're going to be needing that for the what you call it, preemptive. Mastermind Zone is going to mirror the imbues and buffs as usual, and also support chain. Elena, begrudgingly, I have to use her because I don't have much mages, so she's equipped with a lot of magic and some undead killer, whatever that I have. Rob is going to be using his LB on turn 1 so that he can boost everyone's undead killer by 20%, which is going to get mirrored by Zon. Emperor Fu is going to be filling up Rob's LB on turn 1. Yuffie is going to be provoke tanking also with the water resist and also support chaining with Zon for the chaining points. So let me just buy some energy real quick. I mean, if you do an Emperor Fu and his STMR, which is highly needed for him, you can just use Bart's, I guess, since he has Intrust on turn 1. So I'm not really sure I'll do much damage because with only one good DPS, I'm not entirely confident I can reach the top damage cap. So that's one of the problems with the major stages because it didn't really give us enough relevant units, or at least I didn't pull. But there's not much options besides, I think, Sakura of the Delta Star as a Thunder finisher. Right, so Elena is going to dual cast her Thunder Imbue with one of her cooldowns. Emperor Fu is going to fill up Rob's LB. Mastermind Zone is going to reflect the killer buff from Rob, the Imbue from Elena, and project it to everyone. Swanwu is going to use their cooldown, which activates a triple cast, and Rob will use her LB. Now Emperor Fu is going to triple cast his cooldown and attack and magic buff for Rob. Swanwu is going to triple cast their Magnus ability with one of their single target ones so that they can actually triple cast. Zon is going to single cast chain the AR frames with Yuffie. And Elena is going to triple cast her Building Strike frames, and Rob will just use his Building Strike frames. So I'm going to chain with Swanwu and Elena first so that they don't deal too much damage. Then chain the AR frames. So if I get at least 1 billion, I guess that's okay. Not even 1 billion. So reaching top spot is gonna be a bit harder for me than I thought, but at least I clear it, I guess. Next is gonna be Dark Titan, which is also magic. So I'm not too hopeful for that also, but we'll see. Okay, so this is the last stage of Area 2. We're fighting Dark Titan, which is human boss that's weak to wind and magic, so I'm bringing Swan Wu as my DPS. Built with human killer and earth resist for the preemptive. Mistina is another one of my magic DPS, earth resist, and also human killer. Mind Zone is going to be provoking and also mirroring the buffs. Rob is going to be chaining bolting up frames with Swan Wu. Roberta is going to be using her Red Vengeance to give a human killer buff to everyone on turn 2 so they can get mirrored by Zon. And Elena is going to support chain with Rob and Swan Wu. So on turn 1, there's going to be preemptive, which really limits some of my damage a bit, but oh well. Mistina is going to triple cast, chain her Mystic Cross and Phantom Breath to build up some stacks. Swanwu is going to use the Black Tortoise combo with Cheese Strike to give everyone AoE Mirage and their cooldown. Rob is going to dual cast his Wind Imbue to himself and cast the Sugar. Roberta is going to use Red Vengeance to jump, I know, for the human killer buff for the next turn, and Son is going to dual cast chain AR frames with Elena. Oh, I didn't know you can actually blind the boss. So I guess that's an alternative if you don't have Swan Wu to dodge the AoE physical. If you don't have AoE Mirage. Okay, so now Swan Wu is going to use their triple cast on Palm Strike and one of the single target ones so that they can chain all the way. Rob is going to use triple cast Wild Animal, it's single target, so all 3 of the chains will go through. And Elena will use her Blade with Crystal, also single target so that all the chain goes through. Roberta is going to land. Now Zon can mirror the buffs. Elemental Mirror on Rob, Critical Mirror on Roberta. Vistina is going to triple cast her Mystic Cross. So I'm gonna start chaining, wait for a moment, and then chain with these 3. So 1.1 billion, not bad of a damage. That's clearly not 2 billion, but I guess that's the limit of my team so far in terms of the mage stages. So that's area 2. Now we'll go off to area 3 in the next video.